distortion, which is like Hit the Death and Future Head, into the bubblegum pop kind of stuff of Yoshimi. The lyrics are standard Flaming Lips. It's all about death except happy. They have these awesome philosophies that are kind of like life-changing. And this album, like every single song is just awesome. Starts off, it has Evil Will Prevail, which is incredible. Lightning Strikes the Postman, The Abandoned Hospital Ship, and ends with my favorite Flaming Lips song of all time, Bad Days, which is awesome. And it'll probably be the end of Johnny Limbo if you ever see that. 5.
If I do something like you just did, we will be on here for like 30 minutes. So I'm just going to go through this. My 5th favorite album of all time is XO by Elliott Smith. Good album. Waltz number 2, Baby Britain, 2 of my favorite songs of all time, 2 of them. And I think that's all I need to say.
Okay, right.
Just sexy stuff.
Number 5.
I'm going to say it's a cross. I think Beck's Ryan Streams, you can get mad at me if you want. I think Odelay is his best album. I absolutely adore it. I connect with Midnight Vultures. The funkadelic crave of it. It's a tribute to Prince. It came out in 1999. Every single track on it is so good. It's so sexy. It just goes. It's just a good jam album to go to. So it's a tie between that and Odelay. Midnight Vultures and Odelay. What's your number 5?
My number 5, I had to narrow it down to. I had to put the Beatles on the list. Obviously, I love the Beatles. I think they're probably of what I've heard, they're the most timeless band I've ever heard. I had to narrow it down to one album, and as an album, I think the best album is Abbey Road, considering it's the medley at the end, and it's just mind-blowing. And it has the best transition, the second best transition between 2 songs. I love transition between songs. Between I Want You, She's So Heavy, and Here Comes the Sun. If you listen to those 2 songs back to back, it gives Here Comes the Sun a dark tinge to it. It's really cool.
Don't they have the chords to, Wolf at the Door by Radiohead?
Yeah, it's also Wolf at the Door. Isaac, 4.
Okay, 4. Ben Folds 5.
Oh, it's so good.
Ben Folds 5. Oh my God.
Last Polka, Jackson Cannery.
And Philosophy. Can't forget Philosophy. That was the song that actually got me hooked onto Ben Folds. Ben Folds 5 in the first place. Now, actually, I kind of like Ben Folds better than Ben Folds 5, but I think this as an album was the best of his albums.
Absolutely.
Doesn't Last Polka make you...
I can listen to that song on end.
That's my second favorite Ben Folds song ever. And that would be on my list, but I couldn't. I couldn't make
6
7.
already.
I know, I had 6. Anyway, Raj? 4.
Had sex. It sounded like you said sex.
Yeah.
Number 4. Okay, once again, stop with these cross things. It's cross between Untitled and Talk by Sierra Rose. Now, if you don't listen to Sierra Rose, and Robert Whipple, if you're watching this, yes, it's an incredible album. Yes, it's ambient sounds. Yes, it's little guitars going over here. Yes, you think he sounds like a girl. You know what? It's a beautiful album. It helps you fall asleep. It helps you think. It's just, I don't know, intellectual, inspirational music. I don't know what they're saying, the Icelandic language. It's beautiful. It's just absolute beauty. My mind is so relaxed after that. If you know that I've had a horrible year this time, I just pop on Tack or Untitled, but Untitled is spelled with like 2 parentheses. It's just pure awesomeness. You know, you love Hoppy Pola and
Glow Slowly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually never really gotten into them, but
you definitely...
They're very like mood kind of thing. If you're not in the mood for Sigur Rós, they sound, you don't want to. Trust me. Anyway, number 4 for me is OK Computer by Radiohead.
Oh God.
Awesome album. Some people might complain that it should be higher, but it's like Radiohead's incredible, and that is, I think, their best. And yeah, that's it for me.
Okay. 3. Okay. This is different. This is College Dropout by Kanye West. God, I love this.
Jesus Walks.
Jesus Walks.
New workout
I just
plan.
like the flow of it. It's so funny. It sounds good. And
it's incredible.
It's political. It's everything I want in an album. And I think most of all, it just sounds good. I just like how the way the music sounds. I mean,
Dude, I falls down through the flyer.
I'm not a big rap person, but I just loved that album so much. And yeah, okay.
Was the line, I look like Tom Cruise in Vanilla.
Go!
Okay, number 3 album is going to be, it's rap. Or you could call it rock or metal or rap, because it's mostly rap. Rage Against the Machine, self-titled. Okay, one of my favorite albums ever. They're gonna be playing at Rock the Bells. Probably people don't even know, have Rage Against the Machine self-titled unless you're a music connoisseur out there. But it just starts so awesome with the bomb track with the din 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 and then killing in the name. Isaac, probably the most manly song ever created by mankind.
It's perfect.
And it has Bullet in the Head, and it ends with one of the best endings in any movie ever, with the Matrix end song, Wake Up by Rage Against the Machine.
Oh, yeah,
and this album was produced in 1991. Matrix was 1999, so it shows 8 years later they still used awesome song Wake Up, and just ends. Awesome album, political, started a new revolution in music. I listen to it as
I hate the politics of Rage Against the Machine.
But you still...
The music's good. The music's awesome, but like Anarchy, come on.
I'm not for the Anarchy. I respect what they're doing.
Children.
I respect what they're doing. I don't agree with their politics, but I think they're...
I respect what they're doing, and they're incredibly talented musicians, and I'm excited to see them at Rock the Bells. What's number 4 for you?
Number 3 for me, people are probably not going to agree with this, but number 3 for me is Shoots Too Narrow by The Shins.
Of course.
Like, It's so good.
Here, let's do it.
Woo! Okay, but it's like every song. It's so good. Like the lyrics, best lyrics of any album I've ever heard.
Turn a square.
Flat out. Like Young Pilgrims.
So Says I.
So Says I. Gone for Good. Kissing the Lipless. Saint Simon. Fighting in a Sack. Every
Mine's
song.
Not a High
Awesome.
Horse.
Mine's not. Oh, awesome. That's
10 tracks.
Yeah. All good. Isaac.
Number 2, Yoshimi by the Flaming Lips.
Battles the Pink Robots.
Yes. I mentioned that earlier. It's kind of it's more of a they lose their distortion. It's happier. They move into their bubblegum lyrics phase that kind of started with Soft Bulletin, and then it really expands there, and then they kind of regressed back into that in At War with the Mystics. Anyway,
but the thing I like most about this was just like also again it's the flow. I'm a big guy for flow. I mean. I like the way it just sounded really nice when I fall asleep to this album. Or
you could just chill to it, like Yoshimi Part 2.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Well, that's not chill. That's like
that's the shovel theme. Okay, my number 2 album. Big fan of Tribe Called Quest. I grew up on them since I was 3. Love Movement, fabulous album. Beats, Rhymes, Rhythm, and Life, awesome album. People's Instinctive Travels, awesome album. I'm sorry, guys. Midnight Marauders takes it. It not only has probably like my 3rd favorite song of all time, Electric Relaxation, which makes you feel relaxed all the time. Steve Biko, Stir It Up, Award Tour. It just, once again, I'm going to have to go with Isaac. The flow of the album just flows so well. You could just listen to it as one and just chill rap with it. And I know Tim's gotten into a lot of good rap and hip-hop this year. He can agree with me that this is an awesome, it's one of my favorite albums ever. Just, the lyrics are so freaking good, and when you see them in concert, it's the greatest experience of your life.
Very nice. Number 2 for me is by a little band called the Velvet Underground.
Oh, very little.
They're a distortion-y band back from the good old times of the 1960s. The album that I picked is The Velvet Underground and Nico. It's their most famous, and it's a masterpiece.
Sister Ray?
No, that's on White Light, Red Heat. But that's a good, awesome song. But anyway, this is like it's a collaboration with Nico, who was a prodigy of Andy Warhol, who produced this album with the Velvet Underground. It's a masterpiece. I have no qualms in saying that. It's amazing. It is so good. Like it literally redefined how rock and roll worked. You listen to this now and it sounds new. You don't realize that it was recorded over 40 years ago.
Yeah,
which is awesome.
Speaking of redefining rock and roll,
and completely redefining.
We're moving on to number ones now. Number one.
My number one album of all time, OK Computer by Radiohead.
I mentioned it earlier.
Yep.
Yes.
Elaborate.
It's my favorite. I mean, I'm going to say it again for like the 100th time. The flow of it. Oh God. And it just
the message, the lyrics. It's beautiful.
It just gives you this feeling, you know, that just wow, this is good. It actually took me a while to get into this.
But you can tell.
Album, but
wow, music is good. After I listened to this, there is some hope for music. Number 1 album of all time for me so far. It's a tie also again between OK Computer, like they said. It's just such a freaking. It's such a
every
good album.
single song is so
every song on that is so. The lyrics, even Fitter Happier, which scares the living crap out of me.
I love
More productive. That's
Not
awesome.
eating too
But
much.
the tie of it, that is definitely the best radio album. Definitely my number 1. But a tie. This is what I was last year. If you guys all knew me, Kid A by Radiohead. Oh my God, I absolutely love this album. Starts with everything in its right place, ends with Motion City Soundtrack. Interlude is optimistic into in Limbo, into Idiotech, into freaking Morning Bell. Into every single track on this album is just awesome. The national anthem on it with like 87 layered tracks on it,
awesome.
like do. So between Kid A and OK Computer has freaking Electioneering and Letdown, awesome stuff. So I'm gonna say tie between
My
OK
number
Computer
1.
and Kid A. What's yours? I'm
gonna break away from the Radiohead trend and move into this is an album that I put this on and it's like every time and you're like, whoa. That was incredible. It's like an experience. You play one song from this album, and you can't help but listen to the entire thing. And it is
those heavy metal bands.
Yankee Hotel Foxtrot by Wilco.
On the
it's like
in the summer.
Wilco is an alternative country band, not country, but this album is like alternative country meets Radiohead. It's like it has they're these down-to-earth lyrical songs, except mixed with this like cosmic sound. It's incredible. It has the best flow of any album I've ever heard. My favorite transition, I love transition between two songs, is between Ashes of American Flags and Heavy Metal Drummer. You hear like there's this like big. It's really controversial. If you see the movie "I'm a Man Who Loves You" about making the album.
No, I'm Trying to Break Your Heart.
That's right.
By Sam Jones. Go watch it.